Mic check, mic check,
Mic
mic
check.
check. It's Mind Control Monday, setting the pace for self-care and success for the rest of the week. To the right of me today, I got...
You got Caleb Rashad in the building. What's going on, you guys? I hope you guys are feeling well.
Oh, that sounds so proper.
Feeling well,
To
doing
the
well.
left of me, I have...
We have Nisha Michelet and my
Charlie.
my fur baby here acting a mess, wanting to be all up in the mix. This is Charlie the Great.
Charlie the Great.
Bad today.
Charlie the Great.
Lord have
And I'm your
mercy.
captain, and we about to get this thing going.
What's your name?
My name is Coach Nita.
For people who, for our
For
first
people
listeners
who
who might not know.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Yeah.
They probably like, is her name Captain? It's Coach Nita. Today, this one is going to take some
Deep diving.
Yeah, it's going to take some courage. Some unpacking, some evolving, some reassessing.
Might have to put some people in check.
We may have to check ourselves.
Well, please don't make us wait any longer.
Right. One of the things that we're going to focus in today is assessing your circle. Let me get 2 snaps for that. The assessing your circle. Before y'all dive into this episode, I want you to take a look into your friends list, be it on social media, be it tangibly, the people connected to you. And I want you to ask yourself, do these people serve me well?
We're asking you to take stock.
Yes.
Take stock in the people around you and just ask yourself, are the people I'm connected with in alignment with my purpose, what I got going on?
Yes.
Do they serve me in a positive way, in a negative way?
And also, too, do I serve them well?
Yeah.
Is there
Hold
something that I
yourself accountable.
offer to them?
Yeah, because friendships is like any relationship is transactional,
It's give and
honestly.
take.
Very, very much
So-
so. One of the things I want us to do is I want you to look at the people connected to you, and I want you to realize, have these been the same people you've been rolling with? Are these new people?
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter new or old, because sometimes new people are dope. They add value. And I want you to ask yourself, is this the group that I'm supposed to be evolving with? So we're going to do an assessment.
Yeah,
Talk to me.
let's get into our circles. Let's get into our what ours are looking like. What do those look like? Do we have like new friends, old friends? Like what are our personal circles looking like these days?
One of the things when I think about friends, that's a term or a title that you just can't give to everybody.
No.
And I think in today's social media society, we based ourselves based off of how many followers we have.
Our friends.
Our friends. And in our deepest moment, do these people really serve us justice? Or are these people that just follow us because they think that we have this going on? We have all these multifaceted, awesome things happening. I also think about assessing the circle. I think about it as accountability.
Yeah.
And right now in today's society, life is lifing, but there's also situations happening to where money has been the root of a lot of things, where people feel like you can't be held accountable because of your status, because of who you are, or because of what you drive or what you do. I want us to take a moment and just think, am I rolling with the right people?
We've been seeing that in the media a lot too. A lot of people are just now being held accountable and haven't been for a long time because of that, because of status, money, all of those things. So before we get into the deep diving of it all,
Talk to us.
So what does that look like for you? For someone to be in your circle, what are some of those expectations? Do you consider somebody a friend, someone you are talking to on a daily basis? Who are you going, out with?
Like what is a good friend?
Yeah.
What
do you even categorize as a good friend?
What characteristics should a good friend have?
Yeah.
For one, I think we need to ask ourselves, am I a good friend?
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think once we take that inner look within ourselves, that will dictate the people connected to you.
So in holding myself accountable, and I feel like it's different depending on the person, because I have some people in my circle who I've been friends with for a really long time.
Right.
I have some friends in my circle who are newer, and
Right,
those dynamics look different just depending on the needs of the relationship. I've also had some people that I'm no longer friends with, and I've had to remove. So it's just a matter of, like we're saying, just assessing your circle. For me, it's just about, I think reciprocity is a big thing for me in friendships. I consider myself a very caring and thoughtful person.
You are.
Thank you. I appreciate
Yes.
that, Coach. So that's something that in the past I don't think that I have sought out in a friend. I feel like there was an abandonment element to my friendships, and like a codependency element because of said abandonment.
Ooh, come on, codependency.
I was holding
Yikes.
on with both hands and kind of like self-sacrificial to a point of, just to my detriment, not really requiring that in return. So it's a new season, and a lot of fat has had to be trimmed. Some friendships have been maintained for a long time, the better part of a decade, and which is not easy. Those tend to be the friendships that, like y'all are solid. You don't need to check in every single day. Like we've been here. You was with me shooting at the gym. You 10 toes down. It doesn't require the same type of care and nurturing this particular relationship because we're good, we're solid. Whereas other ones are newer. So I am talking to those people kind of more on a daily basis, and some friendships have crossed into my professional life, and I'm talking to them every day on, not just on a friendly note, but on like a more business aspect. Like what we doing, what moves are we making,
That's true.
So it's like, and that requires some heavy duty assessing.
That's another thing.
Talk to us.
Friends and
business. Yeah.
How do you manage that?
Yeah. That requires some heavy duty assessment. That is not for the faint of heart. Like
2 snaps for that.
And you have been privy to that. You have been privy to a friendship / business relationship, and when tempers flare, frustrations happen, and you're having to like take into account that relationship, that friendship, but also be like, look, business. Yeah. Business is business. So it's a fine line that you have to dance over a lot.
I also think too, there are seasons where your circles become periods. Where it narrows down and it scales down, because sometimes too much is too much and too many is too many. And you guys always hear me talk about everybody can't go.
Yeah.
Everybody can't come.
Everybody can't go. So when you assess your circle might end up turning into a square.
Yeah.
Your circle might end up changing positions and changing dynamics just because you're evolving. And if you're not aware of your own evolving, there are a lot of yesterdays that will try to maintain. And you're like, why is this relationship in business not working out? Why is this relationship that, this person I've been dating is not working out? That's because you're going to another level. And it's not that you're thinking, oh my God, I'm bigger than what I am, or I'm trying to be more than what I am. I'm just in a new season.
Right.
And sometimes when you assess your circle, you have to sit back and be like, where am I?
Yeah.
And in order to have a circle, you have to start with you.
Yeah.
And you have to realize, what type of business partner am I? What type of neighbor am I? Shout out to my community. I don't talk to my neighbors, right? I don't talk to a lot of people, but I realized that growing up playing sports, I had an abundance of friends.
Yeah.
But when I thought about it, my attitude was so slick, and my mouth with an F, MOUF, was so slick that it cost me a lot of relationships. And so there's a lot of assessing that I had to do within myself and say, Nita, you broke those relationships. You got to go fix them.
Yeah.
I think for me growing up, I didn't really have a lot of friends. And I think now looking back on it, I'm kind of glad I wasn't in the in crowd. You know what I mean? Because it made me value friendship more, because I feel like the more people you have around you, you're more likely to have yes men around you, and those aren't really the best people to have.
And we're seeing that in today's media now.
Yeah, and so I never really cared about the quantity; it's the quality.
Okay.
2 snaps for that.
The quality of a person, because baby, someone's character should be the currents of the friendship. Honestly,
Exactly.
A double 2 snap back to back.
Yeah.
I'm also thinking about the integrity of assessing. Sometimes you have to sit down and be like, why am I still friends with this person? And sometimes trauma will make you feel like there's a fear of letting go.
Or trauma bonding.
Yeah.
Or trauma bonding.
I know for me, it's the length of time. Like if you've been friends with someone for a very long time, it can just be hard to kind of sever that tie and let them go, even if it's necessary.
I mean, sometimes you don't have to.
But wait, there was a prophet. His name was, I think it was Teddy Pendergrass.
Oh God.
I think what the word say? I think I better let it go. Okay.
It ain't nothing to cut that. I'm slaying.
Looks like
see how millennial and Gen Z, y'all see how this is real. Wait till y'all see this little reel that they created.
I'm real quick to cut
The other thing I want to think about it is, in a few weeks, I'll be blessed to be 41, right?
Hey.
Come on, 41.
And right. And I've noticed that family and your cousins start to become your friends.
They do.
Yeah. And it's not a bad thing. No. It's just that we all speak the same language.
Right.
And there are moments where we have great moments. There are moments where we don't have great moments, but we realize the sole purpose of why we're connected. And I think sometimes when you have an assessment, when I, don't want to be clinical, but I'm going to be clinical.
Come on.
There are multiple platforms on an assessment. It asks for the demographics, means where you come from. It asks for a plan. It asks for all these different things. And sometimes we don't take the time to really go through a full assessment and say, do these people meet criteria to roll with me?
Do they align?
So do I even align with these people because I'm on a different path. I'm on a different journey. Right. And do they still even serve me purpose? And sometimes we feel like you said, if I don't have this numeric amount of people around me, then that doesn't make me cool. That doesn't make me fit in.
Yeah.
That doesn't.
I'm not popular.
I like having 10 friends.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Because at least Christmas is only 10 people I got to buy gifts for, right?
Right.
I also realize too that I don't have the capacity within myself to try to figure out what's going on with friend 1, friend 2, friend 3, friend 4.
You know what? I love that you bring this up actually, because it's reminding me of this thing that I saw with Michelle Obama and Oprah. Okay. Oprah was interviewing Michelle Obama. She had a book that had just come out. Mm-hmm. And Oprah was trying to host Michelle and some of her closest friends at her personal home. And Oprah was like, how many do you think you'll need? And then Michelle was like, like 12. And Oprah was like, you don't have 12 friends. Dang. And Oprah was like, I got Gail.
And that one good Judy.
But Michelle was breaking it down, saying that she kind of collects people throughout her life and like maintains those lifelong friendships. So I think that she is the type of person who kind of like, values the friendship to the point where you notice genuine people and you know when to like keep those people. Like Monica said, don't fumble people of value. You can recognize a person of value and know how to keep and maintain and nurture that friendship. So in holding yourself accountable, in having friendships, there is a give and a take. Always, it's the reciprocity. I'll ask you guys, in from an accountability standpoint, do you think that you have been a giver? Have you been a taker? Have you been on both sides? What has been your
honest answer?
Yeah,
I think I've just been a director. I think sometimes I haven't been a giver, I haven't been a taker. I think I just was telling people what I wanted.
So you kind of like,
and it's like,
I don't want to say control the friendship, but control the friendship.
And controlling the narrative. Okay. But a lot of that has to do with being unhealed, right? Yeah. So you kind of feel like if I don't dictate the narrative or the situation, then they're going to take me for granted. They're going to take advantage of me, or they're going to be able to tell me what to do. But a deep down rooted assessment, you guys, means you have to sit down and do an inventory and be like, where am I? And if I'm at this path, I need to make sure that my friend, if I care enough about the crew that I'm connected with, I need to make sure that Caleb's on the same page. I need to make sure Nisha's on the same page. I need to make sure Amanda's on the same page.
I'm very much that friend. I'm very much that friend. Like, hey, this is what we doing today. Everybody know what's going on, so don't nobody be confused.
And me being an introvert, this is me. I don't give a fuck. Like because I could do my own thing.
Because I'm very much harmony in the friendship. I love harmony in the friendship. So,
but then sometimes the harmony person goes overlooked.
Yeah,
because they're looking for you to be the glue. And a real assessment says, why do I need to be the harmony?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't really speak musically, y'all speak the more music language. But I remember for being in the youth choir, there was sopranos, there was altos, there was tenors. My auntie was a baritone. So
okay,
for me,
come on, auntie baritone.
Right, auntie baritone, right? But the harmony, that everybody was a different octave. Everybody was a different sound, and I think that's what made a collective.
One sound,
One sound, one band. Because I think with me being a director, it was, you're going to be this, you're going to be that, because I was trying to dictate what my needs are instead of looking at it. What does Caleb need? What does Nisha need? And that also comes with fear. That also comes with rejection. Rejection will make you put yourself in a captain position to dictate everything, but you forget that I need co-pilots. I need passengers.
Yeah, it kind of sounds like a trust thing. Like
it is a trust thing.
I can't trust you to
control. In and of itself is an illusion, right? But I feel like a lot of us will cling to the idea of it because we be out of fear, because we don't want to confront what may lie on the unknown side of that interaction.
That's it.
Well, that the interaction, what lies on the other side of it is unknown, and we don't want to deal with that. It's like, no, I want to be able to predict the outcome. What they call the fear of the unknown? Yes, fear of the unknown. So I want to be able to predict the outcome, so I'm going to be the director.
That was me.
Okay.
But at the same time, with me being in business, you still had to learn how to delegate.
Yes.
Yeah.
But sometimes fear and failure, right? We're not going to touch on failure, but it will make you feel like I need to be all things. I need to be the harmony. Nothing wrong being the harmony, but I would sound great if I had this sound to go with it, or I had some drums to go with it, or I had some whatever it is to go with it. That's what assessment is, ladies and gentlemen, as you're liking, subscribing, and sharing this to people. And send this to your besties. Send this to your... right? Send that to them.
So for me to answer Anisha's question, do I feel like I'm the giver or the taker in a friendship?
Or basically, do you feel like you have been the giver? Do you feel like you've been the taker? Do you feel like you've exhibited both?
I feel like in the past I've been more of a giver because I was very much people pleasing and just want everybody to be happy. But as I grew older, it's like, oh wait, well, I kind of need some things from my friends too. Like I need such and such. Like I need you to be there for me just as much I'm there for you.
That's an assessment.
So now Charlie.
You know we in church right now.
He cutting up.
Proceed.
Now I feel like I found a good balance to where I can trust that you'll have my back. Like I got your back, and that you won't like fuck me over, basically. Like, you gotta have a balance.
That's an assessment,
because it can't just be one giving, because then you're just gonna give until you ain't got no more to give.
And that's the assessment. Assessment to make you sit down and be like, why am I still a giver? And I think sometimes with peerships, relationships, businessships, situationships, there has to be a moment where you could be able to shift roles.
Oh my God.
Wow. You should be able to shift roles and be like, it's okay for Amanda to take the lead today. Because I entrust her with me.
Like the last episode we did, you was like, I'm not at 100 right now.
That part.
So I need you as my friend to come in with that 50 or that 30. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Assessment. Assessment will make you sit down and go, I've been the giver for so long. What if I stood up and been this part of the friendship? If I've been this part of the friendship? Or for me, I think for me now, is to sit down and be quiet.
Yeah. Or not to get too like, Gen Z on y'all. Not that I'm a millennial through and through. Not to get too Gen Z on y'all, but sometimes the vibes just ain't right.
Yeah, sometimes the vibes just don't
ain't
be
what
vibing.
They used to be, you know?
have to know what the vibes are, and you have to know sometimes that's just discernment.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I don't call everybody my friend straight off, because I don't know you.
Right.
I don't know what your spirit is like. I don't know none of that.
Earn those titles, even if you guys are dating right now. Don't rush to put a title on things. Now, don't drag people and waste people's time. Don't be like me in my past, right? Shout out to yesterday.
Look, accountability.
Accountability.
Come on.
The assessment goes, Nita, it's okay to shift this role, because I know once we shift, that circle is still going to come back to what I need. And then sometimes I think about it and I go, but what if it's the what ifs that make you kind of not assess, because assess makes you now have to deal in process. So for me, I'm going to ask y'all, do you think you're at a part of your journey where you have assessed and the people that are on your journey now mean you well?
Yes. So I had like a tricky, like stumbling journey with that. I felt like I was losing a friend a year at one point. Like honestly, I felt like, oh, another one bites the dust. And I felt like maybe at the time I was resisting that. I was trying to hold on to it, and I felt like I exhausted every option that I could in order to like maintain it to where it was just like I had to like kind of let it go. Looks like another love TKO.
Shout out to the prophet. Shout out to the prophet.
And then, so like, right, losing a friend a year, and then you get, I feel like maybe like around 2021, 2022, right? It's like, okay, I feel solid. Like the tribe is solid, 10 toes down.
Right.
You know what I mean? I feel like I've trimmed all the fat, and God is so good for this. He'll be like, oh, you might have forgot one. You might have forgot another one.
And that's that one that's hard to let go.
Yes, and then he'll put you in a scenario, and you'll be like, God, was this going on the whole time? Was I just blind to this? I didn't know that my friendship was like this one-sided. And then when you get to that point, I was like, I don't even have people in my life like this anymore.
Right.
But I've known you for so long, and I've been there with you through and back. Like it's not that I want to like, just like throw this friendship to the wayside, but I'm being honest with myself that it is no longer serving me in this season.
But if you're on a right journey as you assess, it will sometimes cut itself off.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because the languages would be different.
I was literally just about to say that.
Talk to me.
Sometimes like God can literally like, because sometimes you don't listen, right? Sometimes we don't listen, and it's time to.
Sometimes.
Very stubborn with Sky Daddy at times.
And he be like, "Hey, this person is causing issues. You need to cut them off." But that longevity, y'all been with them. We've been in the mud. It's my day one.
Right.
Everybody can't go, baby.
And even if they could go, what role would they play?
What role would they play?
Right. Even if you were just dragging them along for the get along because of the longevity, it's just like, it's just guys like, okay, well then where do they go? Where do they fit? Here's your jigsaw puzzle.
I was just thinking that.
What piece are they?
I'm thinking as you guys are sharing this, and this is not one of those, if you've had a breakup with a friend or a partner, that you send this out to them like, yeah, I told you, I'm on a new level. It's not that, right? It's I need to inwardly look in to give roles out. And if I can give roles out, I need to be able to receive a role in return.
And can I tell you,
talk to me,
man, oh man, this is just like real talk. Like sometimes your friendship breakups, it's not for the faint of heart, because your friendship breakups can be even harder than your romantic
ones. Because it's like you can be. For me, I'm more vulnerable with my friends, like faster
more
than I
naked,
am.
With your friends.
With my
and some of them you
relationships.
really were. They really were with you shooting at the gym, like playground.
Oh,
and here y'all are adults, and you're like, whoa, like, are you really not supposed to?
But if
come
you're gonna
the
talk
rest
ball,
of the day
baby,
with me?
we can only be at the playground for so long. I'm trying to get to the league.
Yeah.
Or did you guys come to that mature point to where your life is on a different route than mine?
Yeah,
now?
sometimes it is just like your lives are. I have, how many friends that I have that are like married with kids and stuff like that, and that's just not my life. That's quite literally like the blueprint of our lives are just different, and it's taking us in different directions.
And like you said,
no love lost. It's just what it is.
Right, like you said towards the beginning of the episode, you may not have to cut off a friend, but you might have to love them from a distance.
Yes.
Like,
it might.
you may not hear from me every day.
It might just cut itself
off. And that will really test the friendship. The points where you have to like have it be distant, where it's like, okay, like my life is taking me over here, and your life is taking you over here. But some friendships, when you come back, it's like you never left. It's like that, and
I love those friendships.
I love those friendships, and I value that, and you're able to maintain no matter the distance, the time, or whatever. But some of them, they just cut themselves off and they drift, to your point.
Yeah.
And I think too that's a part of your growth when I don't even have to say anything, it just happens.
Yeah.
And I think for those of you who are listening or subscribing or just watching, do not do this out of ego.
No.
Don't assess your circle and be like, see, I told y'all.
Who's good enough to be friends with me?
Right. You could be cutting off the wrong person.
Yeah,
right.
And that's not what it's not even what it's about. It's really about assessing like where you are in your life, the alignment. Yeah. Some people, you know what I mean? Like maybe back in the day, like, you used to kiki with your girlfriends. Y'all used to sit and gossip and stuff, but you're moving in another direction, and you don't be gossiping no more.
And once you move, make sure you gracefully do it.
Yes.
Because once you evolve, you don't want to look down upon the people that were connected to you.
No judgment. Because
they were good for that season.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I think when we compare seasons and we look at seasons, every season plays a role. Without winter, we wouldn't have certain fruits. We wouldn't have certain things. Without summer, without all these different things. And so for me, I just want us to really just realign us and realize what's meant for us will happen. And I think personally for me, I just learned how to be a friend. Because sometimes
that's some real honesty right
there. Because,
real
trauma will make you just kind of seclude yourself.
Yeah.
And just because you're secluding doesn't mean that that's healthy. Doesn't mean that isolation is healthy, because Amanda might need me. Caleb might need me. Hell, Charlie might need me. But because I feel like I'm on a new level and, you're not on my level anymore, I just might be the answer to the prayer that you've been praying. And so sometimes we have to have an awareness, ladies and gentlemen, of when it's the season to cut off. What's the thing say? It's a season. It's a time to mourn. It's a time to plant. It's a time to pluck up. We have to realize what season that is while you're assessing, because you might pluck up in the wrong season, baby, and lose your fruit.
Ooh.
I went there 2 snaps.
Ooh.
Okay. This one was one of those episodes, y'all, where I can't speak for you, but it made me inwardly look in and reassess me.
Yeah.
And reassess how I can be a better friend, how I could be a better partner, how I can be a better community person, especially with my MOUF, especially with my mouth.
Yeah. This episode for me has been just like a heavy reflective one. I have been experiencing that, assessing my circle in real time.
Yeah.
Literally in real time. So it's literally just been a time of reflection to take stock of, like,
that's it.
All that I felt. At least at the time, some hurt more than others, but it did feel like a loss. Like it felt like I was having to mourn and grieve the loss, because friendships are important to me. So in taking stock and taking reflection, and I actually just stumbled up, not to get too churchy on y'all, but I just stumbled upon a Bible verse that touched on that, like God giving you the ability to kind of like take a look at what He's doing in your life,
right?
Yes.
And I feel like He has granted me that ability to do that. So I now understand that even though those moments hurt, I understand why they had to happen.
What's your takeaway?
My right, since we're doing takeaways.
Good job.
Hey.
This just really made me appreciate you guys.
Oh.
'Cause
2 slow snaps.
Because, like I said, growing up, I didn't have a lot of friends, and it was just hard for me to fit in to a lot of places. And the fact that I just walked up in here and y'all was just like, yeah.
No,
You're
really, y'all.
home.
He really walked in here. She said, on the way here, I think, all my cousins coming. We like.
And I'm so good for that. You got like, in having my friendships, my relationships, my dynamics, my circle, I'm always like looking at one and looking at the other, like, oh, y'all need to
But when you think about your assessment is a healing, because what's the other prophet? Drake, no new friends.
Not prophet, Drake.
Right? We always have that.
Oh,
who
or
is
what
that?
His latest one, he said, I've been losing friends and finding peace. Honestly, that sounds like a fair trade to me if I ever heard one, and I'm still here outside.
Yeah.
Fair trade.
Man, when I heard
song,
that
Fair
line, I was like, Aubrey,
Wow.
you better.
Wow. He's preaching. That's the word.
I'm
That's the
also
word.
realizing, as you guys are watching this, I want you guys to really sit down and even look at the people who are your followers. Look at your social media platform. And just because you got the 16.7005, whatever the number is, am I really serving my platform purpose? Am I assessing what I stand for on these platforms? Am I really vicariously trying to live through others, or am I actually being authentically solid? And I think that's a part of the assessment. The assessment, remember, you guys, are multiple parts. There's multiple things that an assessment, sometimes assessment, y'all, clinically can be 3, 4, 5 pages, especially when it goes through like the history and what the plan is and what the outcome is. I want us to look at it, but I also want us to praise ourselves for having the moment to say, what are we doing? What is this? And I think sometimes, shout out to Charlie, who's assessing the door, who's assessing the scene. I'm thinking about it that as we progress, the main goal for us is to really look at it prospectively and go, am I in a situation to where do I really need a circle? Do I really need this many people around me?
Sometimes it is a solo season.
And heal enough to go, I need more people around me. Because I have come as far as I can by myself.
Yeah, like I was telling you, we were talking off mic.
Right.
With my music and stuff. I've always
Y'all please
known.
subscribe to that music. It blew my mind.
Yes,
I said, is that Chris Brown?
I'm on Apple Music and Spotify.
Shameless plug as he
Rashad,
said.
RASHOD, period. We're going to tag it maybe? Yeah.
Yes,
but
yeah.
with my creative ideas, it's like I know what I want my vision to be, so it's like I need to do it myself. I can do it myself. But you can't.
Come as far as you can by yourself.
You come as far as you can to do it by yourself.
That's
and sometimes it is a solo season, but that is very temporary because you cannot do that. But solo seasons are always temporary. You're not supposed to stay a hermit crab.
Right.
Yeah.
As you guys are going throughout your week, I'm hoping that this episode really resonated with you. I'm hoping as you're driving, as you washing them dishes that's been in the sink for so long.
I don't have dishes in my sink.
Okay. Or folding them towels, right? Hey. That we're really looking at this and going, is it me? Is it them?
Am I the drama?
Am I the drama? Am I the one stirring up the pot? Or am I not stirring up the pot and saying, why are we talking about this? Why are we talking about her? Why are we talking about him? Not that you have to be the one to always have it together, but it's okay to be different within your circle.
Look,
and it's okay.
You need to just confront them folks and be like, look, I just feel like you ain't standing on business.
Get out of my head. Nisha, get out of my head.
Yes.
I was literally about to say, ask the questions. Ask your friends, why are you friends with me?
That's an assessment.
Are y'all not standing on business?
Yeah.
Are y'all not
I didn't know that was a standing on business until I heard that.
Listen.
So shout out to the is it Gen Z?
Shout out to Drewski. That's
my guy.
Dude,
Shout out to
he
Drewski.
started that?
He did. Yeah, he started that. And that has been such it has taken over the internet.
It might be on Wikipedia.
It really
in a
has
few
taken
months.
over social media.
He might want to trademark that.
He might. Well, he probably already did.
Actually, take that out.
Don't forget, you guys, I am your captain. It's Mind Control Monday, setting the pace for Taco Tuesday, Wellness Wednesday, Throwback Thursday,
and Flashback
Flawless
Friday,
Flashback Friday, Soulful Saturday, and Self-Care Sunday. Y'all have a blessed good night.
And we out.